The Pirates are off to a good start, kicking off the football season with a win over Towson. East Carolina receives a #1 ranking, but a campus-wide printing policy takes away free printing, and the cast from a hit TV show will soon be at ECU. Thank you for tuning in to the semester's first edition of TEC-TV. I'm Ashley Bowles.
And I'm Kyle Jones. We're excited to be back this year. For those who are just joining us, TEC-TV is a news show on the EastCarolinian.com every Thursday. Our top story brings updates to the ECU alert that was sent out over the weekend.
Over the Labor Day weekend, students received an ECU alert regarding an armed robbery. The two suspects involved were last seen on Rotary and Johnson Street, headed toward East 5th Street around 8 p.m. Saturday. They were in a Toyota 4Runner. Only one suspect was armed, but both are described as taller black males with long dreadlocks wearing white t-shirts and jeans. No injuries were reported, and there was no immediate threat to campus. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Greenville Police.
Some ECU students are upset by a new system implemented on campus this year, but after speaking with FGA officers, actually found out there's more to the system than meets the eye.
With the start of a new school year, students found out ECU has a new printing system. Each student receives $10 per fall and spring semester and $5 during the summer. This applies to every computer on campus.
I can't find a public university in the United States of the size of ECU that didn't already have a printing quota.
Students were quick to express their disdain on social media, but SGA Treasurer Carson Pierce says the new system does not take away free printing.
You're not paying any extra money for printing. It's an allocation of the money that you've already paid.
And students have to pay a lot. Christy Wood says she struggles with a hefty ECU bill.
I'm $30,000 in debt.
SGA Vice President Jenny Betts and Pierce say the plan is effective and ECU is still a great place to be.
The spirit on campus and the friendliness of the students. You walk around and someone will wait a couple extra seconds to hold the door for you, and I feel like that doesn't happen everywhere.
And when you consider the quality of the degree, the quality of the campus in athletics, and just the overall experience that you get here at ECU, there truly is no better.
Thank you, Ashley. That was a great informative package. So I've heard a lot of complaints on campus. What's going on with SGA? What's their thinking?
Well, Kai, SGA is pretty convinced that even though it's a new system, that's just what it is. It's a new system and students will get used to it eventually. Students are still figuring out their living situations after a water leak at a nearby apartment complex. 56 apartments at Campus Towers are in need of repair, leaving 30 students currently homeless. TEC-TV reporter Caroline West spoke to Madison Hill about how she is coping with the situation.
We hear the fire alarm go off and we have music going, so we turn our music down and we're like, what is that? So we're like, we need to go outside, and then we hear fire trucks coming and there's 2 of them, and then everyone's out of the building. All of a sudden there's water running down all the windows from the 5th floor on the right side, and we're sitting there for probably 4 hours. I'd say we were able to leave at 5. Everyone on the right side from the 5th floor down had to either get a hotel or find somewhere to stay. I've always been reading fine print, and their lease had the warranty and all that stuff on it. So I'll just make sure now that I actually check for incidents that happen and make sure that it does cover, because we're not paying for any of this. So I think that I've signed the right thing, so I think it's good.
Campus Towers management declined to comment on the situation. Any updates we receive will be posted to our website, theeastcarolinian.com.
And there's a new chief of police in Greenville. Greenville City Manager Barbara Lipscomb announced that Mark Holtzman will fulfill the position. Currently the chief of police in Hagerstown, Maryland, Holtzman has over 24 years of experience in law enforcement, including patrol, narcotics, investigations, and administration. Holtzman will be the 3rd person to lead the Greenville Police Department this year. He will begin his new role September 21st.
Suicide is the 2nd leading cause of death in college-age students. This week marks the National Suicide Prevention Week. The Center for Counseling and Student Development, as well as ECU's chapter of To Write Love on Her Arms, held an event on Wednesday to raise awareness for suicide. The goal for the event was to show students it's okay to talk about suicide and reduce the stigma of seeking help. Students were also given information for resources on campus, as well as information on Project Semicolon. Hey MTV fans, listen up. MTV's Guy Code will be shaking up ECU campus with this year's comedy show lineup. The show will feature Andrew Schultz and Mateo Lane from MTV's Guy Code and Jade Catapretta from MTV's Girl Code as the host. Tickets will be for sale at the Mendenhall ticket office. The cast of the show will be in Wright Auditorium Tuesday, September 15th at 8:30 p.m.
Planning to attend ECU football game? Won't happen. They're in Gainesville this week. But there's a lot of other events happening. Today marks the beginning of the 41st annual Aiden Collard Fest. The festival features rides, live entertainment, dance performances, and arts and crafts, a collard eating contest, and more.
Spaz presents its Halfway to Spaz Fest Give Back on Friday at the Hobby Horse. Events begin at 2 p.m. The money raised from the event will go to the Me Is We Community Garden. On Sunday, a conservator on the Queen Anne's Revenge project at ECU will provide updates on the conservation work underway on Blackbeard Ship. The talk will be from 2 to 4 at the schoolhouse on the museum property on County Home Road. Speaking of Pirates, Kai, how are ECU Pirates looking?
Well, actually, they were able to pull out a win over Towson this week, but there's other things going on in sports, like first, cross country, who began their season this Saturday. The women's finished 4th out of 7 teams, led by junior Caroline Reiser, finishing 18th out of 79 runners. On the men's side, the team placed 7th out of 8 teams. Senior William Klein was the best performer, finishing 28th out of 77. They will compete at home on the 18th of this month.
The Pirates golf teams will tee off their fall seasons within the next week. The men's tee off their season in Durham at the Rod Myers Intercollegiate Tournament. The women tee off in Minneapolis with the Minnesota Invitational.
The ECU's women's soccer team has been up and down all season long this year, as their team is just 2-3-1. But the ladies will hit the home pitch this Friday against Western Carolina at 7 p.m. and on Sunday they will play Charlotte in Charlotte at 2:30 p.m.
Men's tennis showed they could be a really good team at times last spring, but it only resulted in 11-13 finish. Men's tennis will host its fall opener this week with hopes of becoming a better team for the spring season.
Coming into last Sunday's games, the Lady Pirates volleyball team was 3-0. The Lady Pirates picked up their 4th win against Hampton and then fell to Davidson to bring their record to 4-1. The team will be busy this weekend as they kick off their home opener with 3 games. On Friday, they will face Hampton at 5 p.m. and on Saturday, they will play Western Carolina at 12:30 p.m. and then William & Mary at 7 p.m. Ah, yes, now on the football, what everyone loves. The beer is flowing, you smell the hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill, and hear fans arguing about whose team is better. Yes, football is back. And here's my in-depth coverage of the team going into this season and their first game last Saturday. ECU football came into this year knowing it would have to replace quarterback-wide receiver duo Shane Carden and Justin Hardy. Also, they had to replace many lost starters on defense along with offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley. But the Pirates had a major setback when newly named starting QB Kurt Bankert went down for the season with a torn ACL. New offensive coordinator Dave Nichols said he would make the new replacement quarterback as comfortable as possible in the offense.
Like with any position, I mean, if they can handle some stuff, then they can, you know, and so we'll see. We're not going to put anybody in any bad situations.
Junior quarterback Blake Kemp was named starter shortly after Bankert went down. Nichols and Kemp are confident in Kemp's ability to lead.
I kind of like that he's, I coached at Arizona. He's from there. He's pretty West Coast chill, which was kind of good. You know, the guys kind of respond to him.
I just try to be the best teammate and leader I can be. I feel like if you're just a positive influence to everybody else, you just make everyone better. So that'd be it.
ECU this weekend kicked off their season with Towson in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Even with Towson's FCS status, Nichols and head coach Ruffin McNeil did not take Towson lightly.
You know, they played a lot of football 2 years ago and went really deep, obviously. So, I mean, they got dudes, and they're, I think they play hard, you know, and I'm supposed to say that, but I mean, they really do. I mean, they fly around. You know, they played West Virginia last year, which the score wasn't great for them, but they were flying around and knocking some people around, so they won't be scared coming into here, I can assure you.
It's they're ready to play, you know. I think the coach is ready to coach, but, you know, they need a game, and Townsend's coming in here, and I know Rob have his guys ready to go, and that's uncontrollable for us. The controllable is making sure we're ready to go. When
it was all said and done, the story wasn't the QB, as Kemp was solid but not special, throwing 37 passes, completing 29 of them. The biggest story was senior running back Chris Hairston, putting up 173 yards on 23 touches and rushing for all 4 of ECU's touchdowns. Towson fought tough throughout the game as they were a touchdown and 2-point conversion away from tying the game. They had the ball and were driving. They reached the ECU 16, and on 4th down, ECU's Terrell Richardson made the defensive play of the game.
Trailing East Carolina by 8. Frazier across the field. Boom! What a big hit. Incomplete. My goodness, Terrell Richardson.
Ball game, ECU 28-20. The Pirates will now go down to Gainesville to face the Gators in their season road opener. With TEC-TV, I'm Kai Jones. This Friday marks 14 years since the tragic events that happened September 11, 2001. ECU will hold 2 days of service to remember the victims of the attacks and for those that served in response. This will be the ceremony at 12:30 p.m. in Mendenhall Great Room 2. There will also be a day of service on Saturday at 1 p.m. and will be followed by a reflection ceremony at 3:30 p.m. To participate in the day of service, RSVP on OrgSync. Registration will take place Saturday in Mendenhall.
We want to thank you for checking out our first show of the year. Our shows will be posted every Thursday at theeastcarolinian.com. For all updates between shows, visit theeastcarolinian.com and follow the East Carolinian on Twitter and like us on Facebook. We'll see you next week.